We're talking Philly sports.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
And New York sports.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And the unique history and relationship between the two cities. With Mike Carr.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
And Adam Turkel.
I agree. Nobody's madder about than I am. They're going to say that, and I'm going to look at them and say, "Hi, you're right."
This is the Battle for I-95 podcast, starting now.
All right, welcome to the Battle for I-95 podcast. It's brought to you by Easy Moving. Moving's hard enough. Move the easy way. Servicing Fairfield, Connecticut, and surrounding areas, and removal in New York City. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Adam Turkel, broadcasting for Transparency out of New Jersey, though I'm a New York super fan. And over here, I have my co-host and partner, Mike Carr. Mike, how are you doing today, Mike?
I am ecstatic. I'm so glad we got this off the ground as fast as we did. This is awesome.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of fun here, and to introduce people to our first podcast, and this is episode 1, so I want to warn everybody, there could be some language. We might suck. Yeah, disclaimer, and we might suck. That's another disclaimer, so we really appreciate you watching in case we do suck, but we got some fun things lined up, and as the episodes go along, we're going to be adding more media, more interaction, and things like that down the road. But we'll start with a quick history from me and Mike. Me and Mike know each other about 11 years now. We met back in something called the IGL, which was the Indoor Gridiron League. It was an arena football developmental league underneath the Philadelphia Soul. I coached one team. Mike played on another. We had some interaction. We always kind of got along, breaking each other's chops. And then a couple of years later, when I was the commissioner of the IGL, and Mike was now a coach because he got too old to play and he was retired, we got to know each other a little bit better. And I have so much respect for this guy that when I got the New Jersey flight job before I got fucked good, I brought Mike on staff with me because that's how much respect I have for him. It's been a while, Mike. I mean, we know each other a minute.
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, the IGL felt like it was yesterday. The bones don't, but yeah, I mean, the Wells Fargo Center, that whole atmosphere was awesome. And I mean, all the work that everybody did to bring that together it was just great to be a part of. And now we got this, we got chopped cheese versus cheesesteak. We got the Liberty Bell versus Statue of Liberty.
We got real pizza against fake pizza too. We got that too. Yeah.
Broad Street against Broadway. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for everything you got to throw at me, brother.
And we got all types of stuff to go, and you could see and probably hear from our accents who's the New York guy here and who's the Philly guy here. As I'm proudly representing the Knicks, who are in the second round of playoffs against the Sixers. Mike is unfortunately already in baseball season, and I guess that'll be the first subject we'll touch on, which is why Mike is in baseball season. So kind of the genesis that brought this together is the recent rivalry that has really just started between the Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. There never really has been one. And Mike, you're going to agree with this. The Knicks have always sucked when the Sixers have been good, and the Sixers have always sucked when the Knicks have been good. So these teams have never really intersected in many pressure situations until this past season. And, first of all, that was a real physical series. I think it took a lot out of the Knicks. I think it's showing now in the second round of the playoffs. I don't think the two teams like each other. We already know how the fan bases are between the Giants, Eagles, Rangers, Flyers. The city's fan base is already at odds. Before we even get into the series, Mike, what's your perspective on Philadelphia fans and their thought of New York fans and how we are with our teams?
So, I mean, listen, I could say this, it just as a Philadelphia fan, I have little respect for you. Just a little bit. And it's weird because we're so close, New York and Boston Philly, Boston doesn't really have that, but we're so close. The only real rivalry we ever had with Boston is the Bruins, and that was 10 years ago.
Boston's more of a Yankee Jet thing. That's more of our thing, the Boston thing.
Right, but listen,
Patriot. Yeah,
we fucking hate the Patriots as much as you do.
mm-hmm.
We hate Tom Brady.
Don't as much. I don't want to hear you as much. For everybody's transparency, I'm a Jets fan. So, as a Jets fan, I dealt with New England literally pushing my shit in for 20 years. So don't tell me you hate them as much as I hate them, because
listen, Tom Brady and them cheating fucks broke my little heart in 2004. Okay, the first time I got to sit there with family and watch a Super Bowl, and then watch. That was just a catastrophe in and of itself. You have a quarterback throwing up on the field. We'll always love you, number 5.
But not the McNabb incident, throwing up on the field in the quarter.
Yeah. And you got your third string wide receiver afterwards saying if he would have thrown the ball to me, we would have won. Freddie Mitchell, who I met, by the way, he's a very nice guy. I guess he's very humble now. After
shout out to Freddie Mitchell.
Yeah, shout out to Freddie Mitchell. But we hate the Patriots. Well, we hated the Patriots. We really hated Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But now, the respect I have is because ultimately we are two blue-collar cities.
Very similar. I always compare
very similar, melting pots. It's very cultural diversity in both of our cities.
Both the historical 13 colonies.
Come on. The country started here, brother.
That's right.
The country started here.
And just remember, when shit got hot, you all came to New York. I just want to remind you of that. When it got hot.
Okay, and if you read a history book, New York fell quick when the British showed up.
We just laid low. We laid low.
Folded like the AFL.
Oh, that's another subject we'll get into eventually too. The catastrophe known as the Arena Football League. That'll have a segment
to the AFL.
Yeah, to the AFL. To the old AFL. I don't know what that catastrophe is right now, but let's stay on pace for where we're at with the two fan bases, New York and Philly. So continue, Mike.
Yeah. So like I said, we have just that same thing. But I can say this. So, a few years ago, I took a trip up to that Giant stadium, that fucking hole in the ground that you guys call a stadium. It's got, to protect the wind?
By the way, just so you know, it's one of the few things I'll agree with you on is the ambiance or lack thereof of the Meadowlands and that travesty of a toilet bowl they built up there.
It's literally a toilet bowl with air flaps on the side. I showed up, I said, this is it? This is what you guys got? And you guys got to host the Super Bowl, too.
That's right. Well, that's because
you weren't in it, as per usual.
That's because we're a better city than Philadelphia. That's an obvious reason.
Now you guys have money. That's what it is. But we'll get that's another podcast day. Anyway, so I had some lower bowl tickets. It was Daniel Jones's first day starting. And, Boston Scott's got like his 70-some yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And then after the second touchdown, I'm up and everybody starts leaving. I go, what? Where's everybody going? Meanwhile, this gentleman in front of me, because, you guys up there are all stand-up citizens. He starts getting upset with me because I was talking junk the whole game. And
why would he I don't get why he's upset.
I don't get why he was upset either. It's your product. That's what you. Well, I'm sorry, you're a Jets fan.
I'm a Jets fan, so I abstain.
That's what New York brings to the table. That's what they put out there. So he's mad at me because his team stinks. Anyway, these 4 gentlemen in back of me in Tim boots, long T-shirts, and jeans told that dude, yo, man, shut the fuck up and go pay the $35 across the bridge. Another thing, why is it $35 across the bridge?
because they want you to buy into it. It's like a timeshare program. The type that you never.
I've never even visited that area.
At a time, you get to share it. Yeah, for 10 minutes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, never been there.
That's another whole. That could be a whole podcast alone on just the prices of New York and dealing with
I
crossing
can't wait for that.
New York. Yeah, that's that. And when we talk about fan bases, right? So, as you know, I have a lot of friends in Philadelphia. I've coached football in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Always
Well
been
respected.
out with fans. Yeah, and I know a lot of people there, so I got a lot of respect and shout out to all my friends in Philly. But let's we're going to talk about fan bases here. Let's keep it a bean for a second, all right? Your fan base is the biggest low-life selection of human beings in the country, all right? And what I mean by that is the way you treat the opposition at times and the way you can bail on certain teams. Now, I'm going to separate Eagle fans out of this, all right? Because Eagle fans are super loyal. And as a New Yorker, I'm actually jealous of Eagle fans because one of the problems with New York football is that we have two teams. So the city is split.
To everything.
Yeah, it's split on that. But that's the biggest split is, it's probably 60-40. I would say that Yankee Met presence, Yankees are probably a little higher than that, maybe 65, 35.
What about the Nets moving into New York? Like, what's
Who's
that split?
Who?
The Nets moving into New York,
Who?
10.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So
That's what it is?
when you talk about Nets fans versus Knicks fans, that's easily a 90-10 split. It's not
really?
Oh, yeah, it's
Even though they got the nice stadium and
Knick home game. Yeah, every Knick game.
Doesn't Jay-Z own them?
It don't matter who owns them. People like
He's
me
a New
grew up
Yorker. What do you mean?
We grew up with the Knicks. This is how we grew up. The Nets were in Jersey.
But, all right, I just asked. Whatever. Go ahead.
So let's get to the fan base thing, though. So I had the pleasure of attending the Wells Fargo Square Garden for a game, right? And first we'll talk about the series itself. Very physical, as mentioned, right? Every game except for the Embiid game, which I'll call it the Embiid game, he scored 50. Every other game in that was last possession type of stuff. Last game, all right, the closeout game, the Knicks took control with about a minute and a half left. I think they went up by 10 or by 9 at the time. But every other game was a last possession type of game. It was heart-wrenching. It was, it was enough to give you stress for a month. So the series was very tight. Joel Embiid is the dirtiest player in the NBA. And I'm going to say that without question. I have proof. Here's a little.
I need a soundboard here.
Here's a little statistic for you. Okay. Oh, you want soundboard? I'm going to prepare you for something. Yeah, you ready for this?
Here we go.
That's right. Here we go. All right. So
secretly a Cowboys.
What goes on? This man has more flagrant fouls than Draymond Green in almost half the games played. Did you even know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is a dirty player. What he did to Mitch Robinson, grabbing his legs when he was trying to jump up, was as dirty as it gets. The knee to Hartenstein, got him right in the ding there. I don't think that was too clean either. So I lost some respect for Joel Embiid this series because as great of a player as he is, and I'm not going to cut corners on that, Mike. Embiid's a great player. When he's healthy, he is one of the two hardest people in the NBA to stop between his outside game, his inside game, his sheer physical size, his width. He's not a skinny big guy. He's a load to deal with. So the dude can ball, right? By the way, you got yourself a star coming in, Maxey. Maxey is really, really good.
I love it. Since the draft, I love that kid.
Yeah, the kid is really good, man. And he's all heart. He plays hard every play. He doesn't take a play off, And as a New Yorker, I respect that. And that's what my basketball team is all about. It's about playing hard, right? So let's get back into the series real quick, right? So I go to this game and I buy tickets, not realizing I had 9,000 friends going too, And I walk into the building game 4. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. And it literally was a takeover. Mike, my bash here is, what is up with the Sixer fans? How in a play? Listen, in an end of the season game, your team's not very good. There's a team fighting for playoffs. They come in, their fans get in the building. That happens everywhere, right? There's no avoiding that. But we're talking about a city-to-city rivalry 90 miles apart, and you guys let us in and opened your arms to where we were chanting MVP to Jalen Brunson in your building. What's your
You were
perspective?
chanting that.
What's your perspective? Tell me.
All right. Let's start with first and foremost. Philadelphians stand by Philadelphians no matter what. Okay?
Not that series.
Right. You know why? Because, again, like yourselves, we are a blue-collar city. There was a strike going on by Aramark where they were asking people, don't buy food and beverages if you go. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go. I can't. I'm sitting here with you now. I already got a beer in my hand.
Wow.
And you want me to go to a game and not enjoy?
So your beer is more important than your team, is what you're telling me in a playoff.
I'm not telling you beer is more important than my team. I'm telling you that I want to enjoy the game. Me personally. And I know about 3 million others that would say the same thing. They would say the same thing. Listen, the other thing is, I will say this too. Philly's fed up with the Sixers. I don't mean to be the voice of Philadelphia here. I'm not saying, I know for sure I'm fed up with them.
Please define fed up. Please define
fed
that.
up. The process has been going on probably since the word process has started. It feels.
You know what we call them in New York? We call them the Philadelphia 76ers because they never get past the semifinals.
Well, that's not true because we've gone to Eastern
When did they get
Conference
past the
Finals.
semifinals?
Huh?
When is the process
2001.
got past the second round?
2001.
No, that's not the process. That's 20 years ago. The
I know.
process is the last 6 years.
So again, we're tired of it. We are tired of it. If anybody out there is listening from the Sixers organization, we're tired. We got people saying trade Joel.
I gotta tell you,
because it feels like it's over.
I would. And I'm gonna tell you why I would. Right? As great as he is, and I told you how I feel about his gameplay.
Yeah.
As great as that man is, he's 31 with a lot of mileage, bad legs now, right? And I had Patrick Ewing, so I know about bad legs on big men. He is now bad legs. He looked like the walking wounded out there. Right now, they can still get a haul for him.
You could get a haul. You could get a
They can get a
boatload
haul for him. In 2 years, Mike, they're not going to get a haul for him because he's going to be broken down playing 25 minutes a game or only playing 40 games a year because he keeps getting hurt. And let's keep this real, too. Even since he was young, he has an injury history to begin with. And now his legs are going. That's not good on a big man. He looked like he
you're right.
move.
No, listen. And I'm at a crossroads because, one, I do think that he's probably one of the most entertaining players to play in a Sixers uniform since Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
He's also entertaining off the court. I mean,
well, even on the
guy
court,
just wants to be a part. He really wanted to be a part of the city. You would catch him out at the parks playing basketball, with everybody and pick up games and stuff. And listen, we welcomed him with open arms, and I don't want to push him out the door, but enough's enough.
You want to break down in your backyard? Let me ask you something, right? And you have Joel Embiid right now. We'll get into the Knicks when we're done with the Sixers, right? You have Joel Embiid, and you have Tyrese Maxey, who's in his second.
You got two of the three that you need.
You really want to keep Joel Embiid, or do you want to get a haul for him and build around Maxey?
Yeah, I understand that, and I mean, in NBA 2K, it works great. It works great. I'll trade for LeBron James and draft. 2 first-round picks.
Right.
And that's another thing.
Obviously, Mike, there's the part of you don't know who you draft and how they're going to play and this and that. But one thing I can tell you is
basketball draft is almost like MLB is a crapshoot.
Yeah, it really is.
And the MLB has 17 rounds?
Maybe you got 3 players that are coming into the NBA draft that are going to impact, and even sometimes that gets realized.
And listen, since we're going into the Knicks and everything, I mean, you guys grab 3 guys from a Philadelphia college.
That's right, because we're smart.
National champs.
You know why they grabbed him? I'm going to tell you why they grabbed him. Because Coach Wright and Thibodeau know each other. And they
listen,
knew all
Coach
about
Wright,
these
oh my
guys.
God.
And
What
we'll
a coach.
now a little bit, right? We talked a little Embiid. We'll go a little Knicks now.
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to say is put some respect on Jalen Brunson's name. You know?
I haven't disrespected.
I don't mean you.
Listen, he's a bit of a flopper. I saw him flopping a little bit.
Nationally, they need to put some respect on this guy's name. I'm going to tell you as a Knicks fan, he has completely changed the franchise alone in the last 2 years. He has given us the ability to feel that we can beat anybody on any given night. And I will say this, and you should respect this as a Sixer fan. He is the hardest playing man of his stature, height and everything that I've seen since AI. He's that good. He's a different player. They have different games, but the man takes a beating and just keeps on coming. In this second round matchup now with the Pacers, he's obviously compromised. His foot is obviously a problem, and yet the man keeps playing. I have so much respect for Jalen Brunson. Shout out to JB from the Knicks fans. We love you, JB. You've changed the way we look at things. And the Knicks, you know, they're in a perilous situation right now. But back to the fan base thing, Mike, you know, I would be embarrassed, right? I would be completely embarrassed if I saw this happen in the Garden. This would never happen in the Garden.
Listen to me. Did you? I guess you haven't been watching baseball.
What's baseball got to do with Nixon 5 chanting in the Wells Fargo Center?
What it has to do with it is the fact that we just went through Citi Field yesterday, and after the save, the whole place erupted.
You gonna brag against the Mets, the JV team?
What do you mean? It's a rivalry.
What do you guys
remember that? Remember the 8? You know, you had the 8-game lead back in 07.
The Mets.
Yes, I could talk about all that stuff.
That's the JV team, though. What'd you do when you played the Yankees?
What? So what?
What'd you do when you played the Yankees? How'd that go?
Listen, we didn't play. Listen, we'll get into that when we play them again. There's a whole other season, okay?
Okay, we're getting off track.
There's a whole other season. But we walked in to Queen City Field, and we own that stadium. We own Giant Stadium. You got us on a low. Okay?
I tell you what,
we didn't want you guys to go.
You don't own it like that against the Giants when the Giants are good.
When the Giants are good, so you're fair weather fans.
Now, what I'm talking about
tell me you're fair weather fans.
Mike, I'm talking about playoffs. Playoffs? I'm talking about playoffs. We're talking about a playoff series. We're not talking about a regular season game against the cellar dweller team.
There was a strike going on. We are a Philly first city. We are.
I'm going to say your fans suck. That's my opinion. You didn't support your team.
That can be your opinion.
You let us in the building. You let us take over. And you took away your own home court advantage.
No. We charged you.
You charged me
a third with for parking.
That was a bargain for me.
And how much was a beer and a dog?
Beer and a dog was a little less than it is in New York. Beer was $11, $12, something like that. Wasn't that bad. I go to listen.
Yeah.
By the way, the Wells Fargo is very nice. We both know that.
Oh yeah. Listen, I worked on it.
Right, and I've coached in it, so it's a very nice arena.
What? You had a beer and a dog during a strike?
Well, first of all, I didn't know about the strike because I'm from out of town, right? But I had club seats that I paid. I paid a third for the club seats there that I pay at the Garden. A third. That's why you had so many New Yorkers down there, because it's a lot cheaper than going to the Garden. For us, it makes sense.
My city's overrun with New Yorkers. I have chopped cheese places on Frankfurt Avenue. That's a real story. Shout out to them, by the way. I never had a chopped cheese before. By the way, that is a cheeseburger just chopped up and melted. I don't get it.
Yeah, everything is. It's kind of like one. It's almost like a manwich with cheese instead of sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. It's kind of like I had it. It's good. Again, Frankfurt Ave. Here's your plug for chopped cheese. It's okay, but I mean, you guys crave that shit like bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup with a bagel.
About we're pizza, bro. We're
Yeah,
pizza
and listen,
food.
thank you guys for making good pizza because our Philly pizza, the good Philly pizza places, are New York style. Which
Well,
is the only
that's
thing
why.
I say that you have better than anything is your pizza.
Bagels too. Don't forget our bagels either. Our bagels are top notch.
Whatever.
Also.
Yeah, sure. Bagels are good. I mean, I've had good bagels from Dunkin'
And the name
Donuts in Boston.
is
Love
a
Dunkin'.
hero, not a hoagie. Let's get that out of the way now.
It's not. It's a hoagie.
It's a freaking hero. We could argue about this till the cows come home. So let's.
I'm going to bring up the history of the hoagie.
Let me ask you something. When everybody came over to this country, right? Because both our cities, immigrant cities, right?
Yep.
Where did they go first? What was the gateway?
The South Philly docks.
No, it was Ellis Island, you lying SOB. It was Ellis Island. So they all came from New York first. Almost all your people are from New York, whether you like it or not. Believe it, live it, eat it. It is what it is.
I'm big. I don't need to eat that.
You know, and there's something else that always happens with New York.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Listen, that's great and all. Can you check on that guy?
He's doing good. He retired because
he
don't want to work no more. He's
Listen,
done.
I don't like making fun of people with stutters, but I think he's got a bad one. He shouldn't be on the air.
That's great. John Sterling, big shout out to John, just retired after 10 trillion years as the Yankee radio broadcaster. Congratulate him on a great career. I think both cities
congratulations.
have been lucky enough. We've had some great broadcasters on both ends. You know, Philadelphia, obviously, the late Harry Callis. You know, New York, we go all the way back to Marv Albert. And, you know, New York has had these guys forever. And John Sterling.
Merrill Reese.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's been a bunch of them, you know. So you and me as viewing fans watching most of our games on TV because we're poor schleps, you know, we appreciate the work these guys do to bring us the game in a way that we could feel it. And John Sterling, when I was a kid, was a big part of that for the Yankees with me, you know. Yeah. That's all stuff in the cities that's similar with each other. You know what I mean? The sports culture is very similar in a lot of ways. Now, where it's different is like I said, and we'll get into football more. The Jet-Giants split. You guys, everyone roots for the Eagles. I'm jealous.
So that's one problem I have with that 2-1-2 area. You guys have a choice. Like you can pick and choose. You're not born into anything.
That's not the way it works. When you're
like
kid,
a typical liberal now. You get to pick whatever you want.
Mike, if I could go back in time to 1978,
and
pick the Giants instead of the Jets, I would do it right now. But once you marry the laundry, you marry the fucking laundry. You're stuck.
And listen, I agree with you on that because I know some idiots that are Cowboys fans that have lived in Philly their whole lives.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And you know why they hate? You know why they hate the Eagles and their Cowboys fans?
That's a front runner. I don't like that.
Besides that, you know why?
Why?
Their father wasn't around.
Well, yeah. You gotta make it personal with these guys, huh?
I'm gonna keep making it personal. That's the point of this.
Oh no, you gotta be kidding me, man. You can't make it personal with people. Can't do it. Here we go. No, can't do that.
But listen, you guys have the Knicks. You got the Nets now. You got the Rangers. You got the Islanders.
The Nets don't count.
I'm not gonna put you the
Nets. The city is 90%.
You got the Mets.
It's the only team that unites New York is the Knicks. That's it. Everything else is split, you know. But
no more. You know, there's probably you've been gone for a long time. There's probably some kid in Brooklyn right now.
Internet and stuff. I hear what's in the arenas. When the Knicks play a game in Brooklyn, it's a Knicks home game. It's not even close. Like, I mean, it's disgusting. Like, if I was a Nets fan, I would bury my head in the freaking ground. Because every time the Knicks are in Brooklyn, there's about 15,000 Knicks fans and 4,000 Net fans. It's that bad. It is literally that bad.
And let's ask this question, too. How come we have 2 rounds in a row that the NBA referees had to be cited for calling them?
Oh, give me a break.
Towards the Knicks.
Smacked up his head. Have you seen Did you see
I
someone?
watched
Did
Joel
you see
Embiid
someone
get put in a
step in
chokehold.
the area in Game 3, and he landed on the guy's foot, and they didn't even call a foul? I mean, come on. You know, I'm gonna. You can probably agree with me on
Joel
this.
Embiid get put in a chokehold like he owed somebody money.
This is what I'm going to say about this. First of all, if they were favoring the Knicks, then how come the Knicks haven't done anything in 25 years? That's number one, right?
Oh, no.
25 years in the playoffs once. So you can't tell me they're cheating for the Knicks. That's number one. Number
Of course
two,
they can be.
I think we could agree on this. The officiating in the NBA and the NFL has just been bad. It's just bad. I mean,
And
all the way
NBA
around.
is all-time terrible. What's
It's
a travel?
bad. But the NFL, too. I mean, the NFL has more than its issues with officiating. These guys don't know what a roughing the quarterback call is and what isn't. I mean, they expect a 320-pound lineman to levitate when he hits a quarterback and not land on top of him, or they're going to throw a flag. So the officiating across the board, I would say, is hockey's probably the best of them all, right?
Yeah.
Hockey's probably the best of them all. And, you know, speaking of hockey, the New York Rangers, you know, they're going. Flyers are home, you know, and while the Rangers are going, the Finns go. You hear that? Yeah, you hear that, right? You hear that. That's what goes on in the Garden, right? So, the Flyers and the Rangers, let's get into them for a quick second, right?
Okay.
I know the Flyers are out, so you don't have a lot to talk about. I get it. But that's the oldest New York-Philly rivalry, is Rangers-Flyers. They're both original 6 teams. They've been going at it forever.
No, well, Flyers were one of the first expansions.
Oh, they were an original 6? So what were they?
They were an expansion team.
And the first expansion?
And if you think about that, how quick was that? Because when was that? 1960? If you want to go ahead and put that in Google for a second.
Oh, yeah, I would look at it, but I don't have my laptop in front of me. But
okay. So I think it was 1960 when they merged.
It was Broad Street Bullies against the Broadway Blues. And back then, they had some real confrontations. That was kind of, you know, that along with Giants-Eagles. When Giants-Eagles are good, when they're both good, it's a good rivalry. But I will say, again, the two teams unite on one thing, right? What do we unite on? Everybody hates Dallas.
Everybody hates Dallas.
Everybody hates Dallas.
I can't stand them. That's the most delusional fan base that has ever been created by God himself. When God got something wrong, it was called the Dallas Cowboys fan base.
And then you guys, you know, I got to hear this garbage. I mean,
you're lucky you're not a Giants fan. It goes off more than once.
I had the years when I went to you know. Oh my God! Your low life fan, right?
Oh my God! You got to be kidding me with that.
So when you talk about fan bases, right? And we're talking about the Eagles fans, and you just heard the Eagles fight song and all that noise and everything. When it comes to New York, we have a split fan base, right? And that's part of the problem here. When you're growing up, you kind of pick one or the other. You really can't root for both. It doesn't work that way. And it happens when you're young. For me, it happened when I was like 8, 9 years old. And at the time, the Jets were pretty good. They had the sack exchange, Gastineau, Klecko, Salam, all those guys. And the Giants were really ass at that time. So I gravitated to the Jets. What a mistake that was. Oh, my. You know, when it comes to choosing your team in New York, you make the fatal error. And then I'm twice the asshole. I made my son a Jets fan. What the hell am I doing? You know, so now this poor kid, he's a Jets fan too, and he goes through the same pain I go through. And I envy Philadelphia for having the solo fan base. Now, when it comes to baseball, it's more Yankees.
Right.
It's way more Yankees. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a good amount of Met fans. You know, I'll say 35%. When you talk about 35% of about 5 million people, probably, because maybe there's 2 million non-sports fans in New York. So it's 35. That's still a couple of million fans. It's not like you suck. And they do.
You guys
suck.
have non-sports fans?
Oh, listen, they exist even in your stupid city, believe it or not. They're around, yeah. But there's one
Unbelievable.
thing we can always agree on, you know? What can we always agree on?
Boston.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Fuck Boston.
That's right. Fuck Boston.
Fuck
Nobody
Dallas.
likes Boston. That's right. Fuck Dallas, fuck Boston, all that. So, but as a Yankee fan, at least I made the right choice on that one. You know what I mean? At least,
Yeah,
God, imagine
but-
being a Mets and Jets fan. I couldn't imagine that nightmare. Holy hell, you must want to jump off a building every fucking day if you root for those two teams. You're miserable all summer. You're miserable all winter. Maybe if you're a Ranger or Knicks fan, you have a little fun in between. But basically,
Islanders weren't bad a couple of years ago.
Was that?
Islanders weren't bad.
Yeah, but they're kind of like a wart. They're on your ass for a year or two, and then they're gone.
Because that's Staten Island, right?
No, they're in Long Island. Long Island.
Whatever island you
Long
want to talk
freaking
about.
island. Philly guys, Jesus Christ. You know, you Philly guys, let me tell you something. You really get me going with this crap.
You Philly guys. You Philly guys.
Yeah, you guys. Now, with your fan base is right. So I know, and you agree with this. The Eagles fan base is your most loyal fan base,
Yes.
right? It's not. I think it's close.
The minute you walk out of the minute that you were brought into this world, kicking and screaming, and you wake up in the 215-267 area code, you are an Eagles fan, whether you like it or
Tell
not.
you what, if I woke up in the 215 as a baby, I'd be kicking and screaming too. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Jesus,
well, you
might,
waking up in Philly, you might be waking up next to my buddy Kev somewhere. But
and we're gonna meet Kev in future episodes. So
yeah, Kev's the man. But
yeah, stay tuned for that. That ought to be interesting. And you know, I got a friend of mine, Brooklyn Tony, who you're probably gonna meet also.
Yeah.
And he's a character. I'm just warning you in advance. If you think Andrew Dice Clay is bad, this guy's
like a clown, character.
Yeah,
like he's going to amuse me.
Now I got a little surprise for you too, right?
What's that?
As you know, gambling is a big part of sports now, right?
Oh, I love it. Yes.
I mean, sports book and parlays and every other fucking thing you can do, whether it's futures. Well, I got us a gambling guy who's going to come on our segments for 5 minutes at a time. He's going to give us, you know, his best bets for what's coming on in the sports world, whether it be parlays or straight up picks or futures. And I think we'll have a good time with that because he's kind of an asshole from New Jersey, and we can pick on him a little bit. So,
and that's one thing I guess we can both share too, that we both have the step out in New Jersey. You guys got North Jersey, you know, and
yeah, I call Jersey the horse
thing.
state. It's the horse state. It's got it whores itself out to New York up north, and it whores itself out to Philadelphia down south.
And we've like infiltrated so much that we created Central Jersey, which I know most the only North Jersey acknowledges Central Jersey. Is what I heard.
I'm actually in what's unofficially Central Jersey, right?
Central Jersey, right.
Right. Like I said, for transparency, I left New York many years ago just because I couldn't fucking afford to live there. I mean, I'm not that good, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that place is fucked up when it comes to, you know, everything. So I moved out to Jersey, but I'm still within earshot of both. I'm kind of dead smack in the middle, you know what I mean? So that's why I've been able to coach teams in Philadelphia and New York, depending on what team I was with, what organization I was dealing with. Right. But I always stay true to my fandom, you know? I always tell people, it don't matter where I live. I'm always going to be a Knicks fan, always going to be a Yankee fan, always going to, unfortunately, be a Jet fan, you know, always going to be a Ranger fan. This is the way it is. But I will tell you this, those other teams that I don't mention as much, the Giants, the Mets, I'll root for them over you lowlifes in a heartbeat. So I got no problem talking about that, you know. I see a big fat finger right now. Yeah. 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 We lost audio on you, Mike. You still there? Mike, are you muted? I can hear you now, Mike. What the fuck happened over there?
I had this jerk off trying to fucking get a hold of me. He hits the fucking FaceTime. Look, I don't want to fucking talk to you. If you get, listen to me. Hold on a second, Turk. Hold on, wait a minute. If you get X once, okay, I get it. Maybe bad service. You get X twice, you know, maybe he doesn't want to talk. You get X 3 to 4 times, you're a fucking weirdo, okay? Stop. Just fucking stop. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I could have sworn that any freaking second, right? Any second from you that I was going to hear.
Here we go.
Yeah, I thought, I thought any second that was coming,
Unbelievable.
you know?
It's an emergency. I get it. Text 911 or something.
Yeah. So
What?
I'll back.
Kid never
my
had a beeper in his life,
right?
probably.
If you get hung up on a couple of times, stop fucking calling me. I'm busy.
Stop calling me.
Yeah, stop calling me. I'm busy. You know, it's the way it is.
Oh.
All right, so let's get back into the show, right? So, as I said, Philadelphia teams, I'm jealous of the football team. Your whole city gets behind your baseball team. Matter of fact, I'm going to give the city of Philadelphia props, which I never do because you're a bunch of lowlifes. I'll give you props. During the playoffs, right? In your run to the World Series 2 years ago, I was actually jealous. You know why I was jealous? Because your place sounded like Yankee Stadium, and I was fucking agitated. I was
Or
so
did it
agitated.
sound like Citizens Bank Park?
No. It sounded like heyday 90s dynasty Yankee Stadium. That's the utmost compliment. I cannot even give you a higher compliment than that.
Well, thank you for that, because you guys
team
were
really got rallied behind. Your fans were behind the Phillies. It's a shame they don't like the Sixers. I think I know why they don't like the Sixers too. You know, I was just thinking about this.
What's
if
that?
this was my fight song, my winning song,
Yeah.
I mean, what?
76er.
No wonder why nobody roots for the team.
Play the fucking song.
Nobody likes this.
Play the fucking
The
song.
dumbest fucking song in the history of my. It's terrible. I can't do it no more. I can't.
I mean, did you see have you seen Franklin? He's a dog.
Yeah, but why does that song have to be like something
70s?
out of a cartoon romper movie?
76er? Man, you guys are like slow.
You guys are trying to be all patriotic and shit. Meanwhile, you
We
throw
are.
stuff at Santa Claus.
Well, hold on. We're not trying to be patriotic. We are patriotic. The
You
fucking country
bomb
started it.
Santa Claus. What are we
He's
talking
a
about
Russian.
here?
He's from Turkey or whatever. I don't know. He's from over there.
Oh my God.
And first off, he should have showed up on Christmas when he was expected. He didn't.
Yeah. Well,
So you get dealt with.
Maybe because you weren't exactly such a good guy, he just didn't bring you shit. You know,
That
maybe.
was in the 60s, brother.
Yeah.
My
Maybe
daddy was swimming at that time, too.
Does he even fly through Philly, or does he have to like get a police escort when he goes through Philly in the middle
Police
of that?
escort.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Does he? Yeah, he landed once and they stole the rails off of his sled.
Oh, let's get back to your fans one more time now, right? Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead.
What is with the fucking when you win climbing the light pole shit? What is that shit? What is that? What?
What's when you guys win? You basically bomb your own city. Like, relax,
bro. You're flipping cars. The cops have to put freaking cow guts or whatever they put on the light poles so you guys can't climb up it. What the?
Yo, so listen, it's grease, right? I went to Cotman in Frankfurt and I was selling what's this? Dawn. The degreaser.
Oh my God.
$5 a bottle.
You would. Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Me and Kev. We were right there at Cotman in Frankfurt selling them $5 a bottle. Got them at the dollar store for $1.10.
Oh my God. What your is just, I mean, you guys are just a fucking mess, bro. You really are.
Listen, there's a misconception too. So, like when the Eagles won and there's guys eating horse shit,
yeah,
they're not ours.
Oh, they're not.
Nah, that's like the kids out from Villanova and stuff. Not Villanova.
What do you
like
say,
kids out that way? The
Montgomery
County kids.
Was that a shot at my Villanova 3 on the Knicks? Is that what
no?
Just
first off, V's for victory, brother. I'm a huge Villanova guy.
You know,
but I celebrated both times they won. But yeah, you got guys from Delco. Delco's not that bad. Delco's more like Philly. But Montgomery County kids, Jersey kids, they come over and they're eating dog shit, cow shit, whatever. You know,
it's
whatever.
everybody but the Philadelphia guys. Got it.
All the farmer kids, they play cow shit bingo and stuff. Like I don't even get it. But whatever. Yeah, they're the ones. You come up to Cotman and Frankfurt. You come to Northeast Philly. You go down South Philly. You see the real heart of where it is, where there's people hugging and kissing. And I mean, you're a Yankee fan, so
sliding poles and
Yeah,
beating up people.
listen, they're climbing poles. They're happy. We don't get to do this. Do you know that I think we were number 3 in murder rate last year?
Well, you're right up there. Yeah, you're one of them good cities that it's safe.
And the year before that was probably the same. You know, thank God that Kenny guy's gone.
And then you got Camden right across the water. That's number 1.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not going to say what my grandfather said about that, but you have during these times, nothing happens. Nothing. You have camaraderie. You have you go in and you're just like, if somebody sees me wearing something like this, they're laughing. Yo, go Phils, man. Yeah, damn right, go Phils. So it's all we got.
Now, you see, I can understand that. And that's what I meant about the Knicks. The Knicks are the one team that unifies the city. Like, if the Giants have a great year, the Jet fan is like, oh, fuck you. You know? If the Yankees are having a great year, the Met fan is like, oh, fuck you guys. We hope you lose in the playoffs. But when the Knicks,
right. But you're saying fuck you to your own people.
Right. But when the Knicks are winning, the whole city's fine. Same thing with the Rangers. The whole city's fine.
Good for you guys, I guess.
Some Islander fans, but that's really more limited to Long Island and the edge of the boroughs, like the edge of Queens. But Knicks and Rangers, those are the city's 2 teams that you know what you were just talking about, the camaraderie in the streets, everybody talking to each other just because you're wearing a jersey. Go Knicks. You know, all that's what that's about. You know what I mean?
And I had the privilege of going to the divisional game and the NFC Championship when we went on the run with Nick Foles. And I mean, the NFC Championship game, my God, you're walking out there and there's people giving you hugs that you never met before in your life.
Sure.
Because us, one, we don't get a big selection. You got the 4. And if you're a soccer fan, you're rooting for the Union, which is good for them, you know, in their success. But you go out and it's just, we have been a city of losing for years. And now it's starting to come around and everybody's starting to get better. And it's great for the city. It's absolutely great for the city. I love every minute of it. And I know it's few and far between. I'm jealous of my son. My son was born in 2008. He's seen 2 National League Championship appearances, a World Series appearance, 2 Super Bowl appearances, winning 1. My grandfather died at 81 years old, never saw a Super Bowl.
Yeah, there was a lot of fans like that. A lot.
That kid was 10 years old.
Parker, you know, I'm a Jet fan.
Yeah.
They won 3 days after I was born. And
ouch.
Had a home championship game. You want to hear sad? This is pathetic.
The Buff Fumble?
The Jets' existence and their existence.
Yeah.
Since after the Super Bowl year. So this is 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and beyond. That's how many home playoff games they've had. Every other playoff game they've had has been on the road. I remember them at home only in 98 with Vinny Testaverde against Jacksonville, and in 2000 or 2001 with Chad Pennington against Miami, or no, against the Colts. So I think it was the Colts. It's been a while, but that's how infrequent it is. That, you know, that's a century ago now. So as a Jet fan, long suffering doesn't begin to say. And then I got to have the circus around me with Aaron Rodgers and the worst coach in football, Rob Saleh, and Nate Hackett. And boy, we could do a whole podcast. And you know me, Mike, I'm a football aficionado.
Yeah.
I could rip these guys to shreds. I'm not saying this to be arrogant. I'm saying this because it's reality. I'm better than every one of them. And when I can sit there and watch a TV, right, without preparing, know what you're running, that's bad. That's pretty freaking bad. That's not good.
So, but that's football smart, so Turk. I mean, like, there's guys that, you know, when I watch football with them, and I'll call plays or I'll call movements, you know, when I say, listen, he pulls here, we got, this is going to be a big gain. And you would see J.C. Kelsey pop out the center spot on a pull and pick up a safety for a 60-yard gain. I think that also comes with the territory of just knowing the game and being a student of the game too.
Mike, the Jet coaching staff is ass, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Terrible. All right, and that's all there is to
It's
it.
had
I'm
some
sorry.
upside. I was actually rooting
Ronald's
for
a
you.
real nice guy. He's a dynamite defensive mind. He's not a head coach. You know, this organization is a mess. We'll get into this maybe some next episode.
Yeah.
But the Jets situation right now is they do have a win now roster. And I'm just afraid that, you know, when things get tight, you're squeezing your ass cheeks together a little bit in a playoff game or something. I could see Saleh and staff blowing the game. I just don't think they're any good. It's that simple. You know, you can call me a Monday morning quarterback, whatever you want to call me. I'll be here as a fan long after he's gone to coach. I've seen some clowns, you know. I've seen the worst of the worst. I have seen one.
We got one of your clowns at one
Ricky
time.
Kotite, who we took from your shit organization for some reason, right?
That dude
I got Adam Gase.
How about
with
that
his
guy?
Eyes bugging out on his press conference. The things I've seen as a Jet fan should be illegal. I should be in a hospital for them. It's that bad, you know. But again, that's another whole show to get into another time. You know, I think we've had a good, informative first episode. I get to know you, Mike. Obviously, all the respect in the world for you.
Absolutely, yep.
You know, and I think that we're going to have a good run together. Going forward into future episodes, we will have some guests on board, right? We're going to include some people on this. If you fans really like this pod and subscribe, and please subscribe to Battle of I-95 on YouTube. You can get our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, yada, 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 Spotify. It's going to be all over the place. And if we get your audience likes and your audience subscribes, we will work harder to get more guests on this show to fit the narrative. And our shows will probably be a lot more differently organized than this one, because it won't be a get-to-know-you session. It'll be more into the statistics, into what's going on. You know, like, heck, we just had our first episode. We didn't even discuss the NBA playoffs in general.
No.
Discuss the Rangers in general. And just to get into it quick, you know, my Knicks are in a little bit of trouble with all the injuries against Indiana. It's 2-2 in the seventh. They got blown out Indy Sunday. It didn't look good. It didn't feel good. JB looks compromised. On the other side, you got Denver went down 2-0 to Minnesota. Everyone thought Minnesota was beating the world. And then Denver goes back to Minnesota and beats the crap out of them there. So what's going on in that series? You know, I think the only thing certain right now is Boston's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
That's the only, right? You agree with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
and you know what? And there was a part of me that wanted to lose that first playing game to get Boston first. Not because we were scared of you, but I just don't like Boston.
Well, I don't like Boston either. You know, I mean, nobody likes Boston.
Fuck Boston.
You know?
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Yeah. That's
I went there once. It's a lot nicer in New York. Well, North Jersey. That's the closest I've been.
Oh, easy. Nothing's Manhattan. Okay? Don't even try. Nothing's Manhattan.
I'm not allowed in there.
You want to know why? I mean, take a look at the mirror.
The beard.
You know? And on the hot side, right, we got the Eastern Conference. The New York Rangers start with a 3-0 lead. All of a sudden, it's a 3-2 series.
Yeah.
And Aaron's not scoring. Igor just fell apart in the third period yesterday. So I got my concerns with the New York Rangers now, too, because Carolina is a quality team. And, you know, my life is stressful right now, Mike, between the Knicks and the
listen,
Rangers.
even if you get past that, you're not getting past Florida.
Oh, stop.
Them boys are good.
Stop.
They know how to skate and hockey. I don't know how to hockey. I love hockey. I love hockey as a sport, and I respect the shit out of hockey players. I don't know how to hockey. But the Flyers, I will say this. We overachieved this year. Nobody expected the Flyers to be.
That's a hell of a confidence boost there, yeah.
They did not expect them to even be anywhere close to a playoff team in the hunt for a playoff. We thought, we're going to go try to get as high of a draft pick. We're tanking. Process on ice. And I mean, those boys played this year, and good on them for doing what they did. I don't consider it a heartbreak at all.
Fans, I've been to Eagle games as a Jet fan on a road game in the regular season, right? And I told you this story off air. I went in there with my Brett Favre Jet jersey, as arrogant as I could be. And I walked in and the whole section booed me. And I put my arms up. I said, we can have a lot of fun today. I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. Say whatever you want to me. You throw anything at me, and it's a wrap, and we're going. And they respected it, and they laid off me. But I'll tell you this, I would never go to a Ranger Flyer game in the well.
I want to go to the Garden to see when the Flyers start get a little better. That's one of my bucket list places to go, is to see a
You've
Flyers
never been
Rangers
to the Garden,
game.
Mike? You've never been in the Garden?
Nah, never been to New York. It smells.
I'll tell you what. When your Flyers are a little more competitive, regular season, because we have a chance at affording it,
Okay.
you and I go up there. I will take you to the city, show you around the city for a day, and we will go see Rangers Flyers at the world's greatest arena. And it truly is.
Listen, yeah, its reputation, is behind it. It's boxing, any kind of event, concerts, basketball, hockey. It's the mecca of
WrestleMania back in the day. That's where it
WrestleMania. I mean, yeah, we had it. We just had it here too. I was. Hold on, I got a bone to pick. Peacock, you guys fucking stink. How's that? I try to go get on. I'm filling out everything, and it keeps saying that servers are busy right now. I just wanted to watch WrestleMania because the last time WrestleMania was in Philly, I was like a kid who thought I could be a wrestler. And now I can't watch it. I was like, well then fuck you. You ain't get my money then. Ha ha.
I'll tell you, I used to be in wrestling, into it as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And even in the Attitude Era, when I was a young adult, when Rock and Stone Cold, all them were big. But I mean, I got into it back in the Andre, Hulk, Bruno Sammartino days. We're talking 70s into the 80s and stuff like that.
That wasn't even WWF then, right? That was NWA.
Right. That was before they got sued by the World Wildlife Foundation to change the initial. That's actually
about that.
True story. Yeah.
Money.
So, I didn't get into wrestling after the Attitude Era. It lost me. I thought some of the stories were too quirky. It wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You grow. I guess as you grow up, you grow out. You know what I'm saying? But even me, I had to watch the match with The Rock, the tag team match with The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody, and said that was actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
The last night got a little quirky with the whole Undertaker thing again, and that's why I don't watch this shit.
Stone Cold was supposed to come out.
I know, and
it was originally planned for him to come out, and he didn't.
They couldn't come to a contract agreement. It was all about this.
Yeah, that hurt because I mean, growing up, that was my guy.
That would have been the one to make the place explode if they would have Boston to come out.
Yeah, they'd still have to. They'd be rebuilding it still to this point.
Yep. So we got into a little bit of everything today, Mike. We talked a little bit, a little bit of everything. As far as Yankees, Phillies, we're gonna have all summer to talk about them. So I kind of laid off the Yankees. It's only, we're in May. It's a long.
It's a long way to go.
Long
way to go. I'm not saying anything. I'm proud of the guys for where they're at right now. They're doing the city proud. They won today. Noah looked great. Bullpen's looking great. Baseball is one of those sports where you're only as good as your weakest link. Guys are coming off the bench and hitting.
That's right. And momentum's all about your starting pitcher, too. That's momentum. And with the Yankees,
we got the best rotation in baseball.
I'm impressed with the Yankees because they actually have the second best ERA in Major League Baseball, and Garrett Cole hasn't thrown a pitch yet.
Yeah.
So once we get Garrett Cole back and we have Canely coming back too, that's like adding maybe the best starting pitcher in the game right now and adding one of the top 3 or 4 relievers in the game right now. And if the Yankees which they're holding their own, they're only a game behind Baltimore, tough division. Baltimore's a good team, man. I'm not, I'm not going to throw any shade
Can't-
at them. They built their team right. That team is really good.
They've
Yeah.
been the bottom of the barrel for so long. Eventually,
That's
they
right.
had to hit on somebody.
And
right?
the Yankees are going to need the Garrett Coles and Tommy Caneleys along with Judge and Soto to get by that team when we get later in the year and we start talking, getting closer to playoffs and this and that. So we got all summer to talk about that. Next show, we'll also review the NFL draft a little bit, maybe talk a little more Jets, Eagles, Giants, what they did in the draft, what their perspective for the seasons are. And by
We got
the
a
next
schedule
show,
coming out tomorrow too.
that's right. And by
So
the next
week we'll
show,
talk about the schedule,
we will know if the Knicks are gone or not.
and
I'm
we'll
sure
know if the Knicks have finally been put to pasture.
we will know if they are gone or if they have survived, and the Rangers too. And we'll be able to talk about that some. And of course, we will get into more of the conflict between your shitty city and my city.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
All
listen,
right.
this has been a good pod. This was brought to you by Easy Moving. Moving's hard enough. Do it the easy way, servicing Fairfield, Connecticut. I am Adam Turk. That is Mike Carr. This is the Battle for I-95 podcast. We will see you next time. Have a
And
good
one thing we can agree on too, Turk. Fuck
Boston.
and fuck the Bravos and whoever's next. But
I don't
always
like the
remember,
Braves, so I'm good
fuck
with
the
that.
Mets.
Well, better Mets than Phillies. Look at that drunk bastard. What a loser from Philly. I'm going to cut the broadcast out.
Go!
All right. That's enough of this low life. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
See you next time.